Well, I'm back playing games that I found under new releases on Steam, and for this one, right away I made a mistake by telling it I'm German. So, first I gotta figure out how to change the language settings. Oh, there we go. This is promising. I guess I'm British. So this is a survival horror game where you control a little village of people who are around a campfire that they cannot let go out. It's got some pixel art, 2D graphics, and a day-night cycle. You kind of know the drill. And obviously this is the demo. At the start of the day, you control 2 people, and their job is to build up the campsite and keep the campfire alive. Each day and each night, the campfire will consume 1 wood every minute or so, and your villagers need 2 berries per day. And gather supplies. Right now, the only supplies I see are wood and stone. And so right now my goal is to build a merchant stand. Apparently, if a merchant comes, that's when we can buy weapons and armor and all that good stuff. Well, that plan's already out the door. I accidentally built a watchtower. Don't know what the watchtower does. And now I don't have enough resources for the merchant stall. So, I'm kind of recalibrating my options right now. I wasn't sure if I was allowed to send them out past that exclamation point. And now I'm just kind of not sure what to do. This is what I mean when I say there's a little bit of tedium to the game, because while my workers are out working, there's not much else for me to do, at least not in the early game. So my management skills, not so great right now. Left somebody just sitting here. Okay, so it says as night falls, the darkness becomes your enemy. Keep your villagers close to the campfire, too close. The coldness of night slows your villagers. They move and gather resources more slowly. Still couldn't breathe that fast enough. When you hear that distant howl of a wolf, prepare yourself. The undead horde is near. And now another moment in where I introduce my amazing video game management skills as I upgrade the campfire. I have no idea why I did this. Obviously, I've mentioned several times I was trying to build a merchant stall. But once again now, I don't have enough resources to build the merchant stall, and I have no idea what an upgraded campfire offers to me at this juncture of the game. There's no real story to the game. The object of the game is to get the highest score you can. So it's a scoreboard placement type game based on how long you survive. At this point, I was hoping that maybe I would have the option to put them to sleep. As far as I can tell, that's not an option. They stay up all night. And you're not supposed to leave the campfire as far as I understood, but there's nothing else to do, so I sent them out anyway. They're slower at night, but that's about it. Well, what do you know? I survived night 1. I'll spare you day 2. Nothing happens except me gathering resources. Thankfully, this game apparently takes place in winter because the sun goes down at 6 p.m. And there we have it. I finally built the merchant stall. So now that I built the merchant stall, it was like, now what? As you can see from my incessant clicking on it. With the anticlimax of the merchant stall situation behind me, I was once again left not knowing what I should do, and since my villagers won't go to sleep, I decided to send them out again. It was at this point, of course, that the game very kindly let me know that it has a mechanic similar to that of the game Don't Starve, and if they are away from the campfire for too long, they start to go a little loopy. They will just run back to the camp, and they won't work again for an indeterminate amount of... An indeterminate amount of time. This fear factor of theirs is represented by the flashing question marks you see on screen. If the flashing question marks go solid, they become too afraid to work and they run back to the campsite. You can avoid this by bringing them back manually before the question marks go solid. Once back at the campsite, the question marks will begin to dissolve, and once they're gone, you're safe sending them back out to work again. So at this point of the game, there hasn't really been much threat. No undead have come. I really don't need a lot of food. There's 2 villagers, they need 2 food a day. That's 2 + 2 is 4. Doesn't take much to get. So now I was looking around the campsite again to see if there was other stuff I could build. And outside of a second watchtower is not much. I was hoping I could maybe, you know, build a tent so I could make one of them sleep so they didn't have to go out at night, but that's not an option, so work we shall. Oh, here we go. He's finally here. He's finally here. This Final Fantasy looking dude, he's the one we've been waiting for. It's the merchant, and he's bringing with him some goods. A nice bow, some armor, and of course, what does he want? Goods in trade. So now we have to go gather more resources to trade with the merchant. And there it is. This is the first time that we've heard the wolf howl. So this means the undead are coming. And then after I finally saved up enough goods to get the merchant stall, and then the merchant finally showed up, and then I finally had enough goods again to get the shiny bow and arrow, the game has the audacity to let me know that I could have adopted a puppy. And it should come as no surprise that it takes a ton of resources to get the puppy. I got greedy. I got tempted. I wanted that puppy. And that is the beginning of my downfall. Because I had heard the wolf howl, I thought, the undead was gonna come. So I left her by the fire. I kind of wish I just sent her out to get stuff because, spoiler alert, nothing happens this night. However, as you can see, the question marks around her head have gone solid. And so I sent her out to collect wood. She didn't finish collecting wood. And my campfire has now run out of logs. Now it is morning, so I thought I was safe. But I'm not. Because apparently, because the campfire went out, it's just night again. And the merchant's like, I'm out of here. So now I'm trying to find some wood, hoping I can bring the campfire back to life. And she's still terrified. And obviously at this point I've played the game long enough to know better than to have thought that one piece of wood was going to be enough to rebuild the campfire. And here come the army of the undead. So, I tried. Yeah, so that's Emberwake. I give this like a 6.5 out of 10. I don't know, I want to try the full game, but I'm afraid that this is all there is. My biggest concern is that with the demo, I didn't come away knowing whether or not I want to buy this game. And so it's hard for me to tell you to spend $8.50 on a game that I'm not sure about. But, I don't think you're wasting your money. If you want to give it a try, go ahead. And if you like it, let me know. Leave a comment down below. Have a great day.